The day Southern California hockey fans have been waiting for. Hockey is back in Anaheim. The Ducks put the NHL on notice as they stormed through Canada with a record-setting offensive onslaught to start the season. Led by familiar superstars, fresh new faces, and an ageless wonder. The Ducks have come out of the gate with a fury and aren't looking back. Tonight, back at Honda Center, boosted by a passionate home crowd, the Ducks look to stay undefeated on the young season and continue the fast and furious sprint to the playoffs. Ducks hockey is back in Anaheim next.
Just moments away at Honda Center. Time for tonight's Keys to the Game is brought to you by your helpful SoCal Honda dealers.
You know, no Booth, no Kessler in the Vancouver lineup, so you don't want to let the Canuck power play beat you. I'm talking about the Sedin. So one of the big keys tonight for the Ducks, stay out of the penalty box. That's tough early on when the motions are understandably very high at this point in the game. You got to move people out from in front of Jonas Hiller. If there's one criticism I've had of the Ducks their first two games, Hiller has not seen a lot of shots from the point, and they want to continue to produce offensively. If they continue to get that middle lane drive when they are on the attack, good things will continue to happen for them.
The referees for tonight's game are Dave Jackson and Steve Kazari. The linesmen are Vaughn Rhodey and Thor Nelson, and we're underway. The Ducks in their home blacks, and Vancouver in the road whites. Puck trickles down to Jonas Hiller. Took a little short hop on him, so he'll cover it up. Alexander Burrows was right there on the doorstep. He starts tonight's game at center, a position, Hazy, we've never seen Burrows play at the NHL level.
And when you think about it, in the middle of the ice, so much of this game, defensive responsibilities down low is on the shoulder of the centerman. And if Bruce Boudreau can get Ryan Getzlaf on the ice against Alexander Burrows, that's a matchup advantage for Anaheim.
Third line for the Ducks out against the Sedin twins. And the puck to the line. Garrison's shot ricochets to the corner. Through traffic in front. It was Cassian who gets the golden ticket. He gets to play on the line with the Sedin twins, with Burrows being moved to the middle. The young man, at least early on, has earned the opportunity.
Yeah, he got a couple of goals already. Big body.
Here's Cogliano coming up with a loose puck in front, and it's off the shoulder of Schneider, and a little helter-skelter in front of the Vancouver net. As again, the Anaheim third line, the best defense you can play, Hazy, is playing the other team's end, and that's what they're making the Sedins do right now.
Yeah, it's a good opening shift for them. They get a couple of bumps on the Vancouver defense, and they get one pretty good scoring chance off the stick of Cogliano.
Both teams getting line changes, and now Perry seals one off on the near boards in the Vancouver zone. Back to the line. Fowler able to keep possession, but not till it came outside the line. Paul Mary gets around his man, brings it into the middle, and Schneider with a big save and covers up as everybody meets at the goaltender.
Well, you see the attitude of the Ducks on the attack. Bring the puck down, crash to the front of the net. It's getting infectious. I think they're all learning a little bit from Daniel Winnick's success here in the early going, John, and what an offensive surprise he has been for Anaheim. Monday at Calgary, his second consecutive two-goal game, +3 in that game. I mean, this is a guy, his career high in goal scoring is 11 goals. So he's well ahead of his best season's pace ever in this league. And I've been so impressed with how well he skates.
Winnick had 8 goals last season in 84 games. That's right, 84 games as he split time between Colorado and San Jose. What I love about him, Hazy, is there's no gray area. He's going right to the net, just like Fowler did there. As that puck off the stick of Solani went right to the goal mouth. And Schneider has already made a couple of grade A saves in this hockey game. We haven't played 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good start for Corey Schneider. The Ducks have got good pressure, and 3 consecutive lines now have generated a scoring chance for Anaheim. And how about the bid by Cam Fowler on the attack? He follows up with Teemu Solani, and there's Fowler right on the doorstep. Corey Schneider plays it perfectly. He knows that it's unlikely that Fowler, with that puck well in front of his body, is going to be able to elevate the shot. He gets down early, eliminates the bottom of the net, and makes a sharp-looking save.
Fowler did not play when these teams met last Saturday night. It was the first time he had missed a game in 153 games. The youngster's only missed 7 games in his career, and right off the draw, Volpatti and Matt Bolesky drop the mitts. Here we go. First fight of the season for the Ducks. Aaron Volpatti goes with the right hand as Bolesky measures him, and now they trade right hands. Not a lot of defense here. 17,011 in at Honda Center, and it's not over yet. Bolesky falls to his knees. 5 well-earned minutes for each combatant.
Well, that's one way to keep the crowd engaged. Ben Bolesky lines up opposite Malpati, bottom of your screen, and a little conversation is going on right now. And Bolesky, he looked like he wanted to drop the stick before the puck was dropped. He can't do that, of course. He waited. He had a willing combatant in Malpati, and the two fourth liners go at it. You called it, John. That was the old "I'll take one in order to give one."
And Bolesky making sure everybody in their seats used the edge. As we have had a raucous start here at Honda Center. 3 great chances for the Ducks and a fight all in the first 2 minutes. Patty and Bolesky 5 each for fighting. As the play into the Anaheim zone, Perry pressured by Ballard, but moves it up left wing. Here's Devontae Smith-Pelly. It's Holland with Smith-Pelly, and Perry replaces Bolesky on this line. An interesting move by Boudreau, and this play is offside as Surrey couldn't hold it in.
It is an interesting move. Corey Perry is a player who told me this morning, John, he's had a little bit of difficulty getting the hands all the way back when he handles the puck. He's had a couple of real good scoring chances. Hasn't really caught fire just yet. It's early. You're just the 3rd game of the regular season, of course, but he was saying nothing you can prepare for the regular season if you haven't had that preseason in order to get all facets of your game all the way back.
I thought it was interesting this morning, Boudreau telling us there will be games when I'll have to play Corey Perry 23 minutes a game. It hasn't happened yet this year, but obviously when given the opportunity, he's going to double shift his former Hart Trophy winner, as he has done here. Cogliano in the near corner of the Vancouver zone drops it off. Edler got a good piece of Koivu, who bounces back up, chasing Garrison. Garrison, who came over from Florida as a free agent in the offseason, moves it away. Edler's pass is deflected through center, but is icing nonetheless as Beauchemin is able to fend off Henrik Sedin.
Johnny, I want to show you something about Saku Koivu. Well, watch Koivu here. He's going to lose an edge, go to the ice. Edler's going to poke the puck away, and watch him chase down Garrison. Look where he goes. He jumps inside of him. He always gets to the defensive side of the puck. Those are great defensive instincts shown by one of the Ducks' top defensive centers.
Koivu has been 63% on the faceoff dot so far this year. Getzlaf has been 61, and the Ducks captain just won that draw. Daniel Sedin sends it back into the Anaheim zone. Didn't go far enough for icing, so the Canucks will get a change. Getzlaf gets center red, throws it off the near side, boards in behind the goal. Kevin Bieksa takes a big bump there and loses the puck. Paul Mary trying to work it back for Getzlaf. It was Perry that delivered the hit on Kevin Bieksa, the Vancouver defenseman. Bieksa moves it up, the boards off a stanchion. It skips across the zone, and a break for Vancouver as it came outside the line.
Boy, Cam Fowler ultra aggressive here in the early going in terms of trying to jump into some holes and add some additional offense.
He banks it into the Vancouver zone, goes around Burrows, battles with him below the goal line. In comes Bonino to help out. Burrows wins the puck, but it was in his feet. He couldn't find it. Solani takes it away. Teemu brings it high in the zone. Ducks are changing. Backhands it across, and Spiza put it right on goal. A stick save.
Yeah, never a bad decision.
Back in front for Bobby Ryan. Oh, Schneider falls into his net after making the initial stop.
Boy, Schneider has been just terrific here in the early going.
He made only 9 saves in 26-plus minutes last Saturday in Vancouver before being replaced by Roberto Luongo. He's got 5 saves in the first 4 minutes tonight. The difference being he hasn't given up any goals so far in this one. Tanev at his own line loses it. Bonino trickles it into the Vancouver zone. Ducks are changing, so time and space for Ballard, who brings it up the near side for the Canucks. He'll rim it around, and Hiller will think better of going back to play it. Mason Raymond behind the Anaheim goal, can't get it back. Scaled up the glass and out by Tony Ludman. Now it's a foot race. Keith Ballard will win it back in the Vancouver zone and slide it across for his defense partner, Christopher Tanev. He finds Raymond at center. Little give and go across the line with Schrader. The centerman playing in just his second NHL game, Jordan Schrader, the former first-round pick of the Canucks back in 09. He's got the puck now. Schrader feeds it to the line. Garrison's shot at Hiller. Through traffic, steers it away.
That was a bomb. I don't think Hiller saw the shot, John. I think it just hit him off the blocker. He just got a piece of that Garrison blast.
Garrison storms back in with Raymond, who rims it around the boards in behind the goal, and Fowler with a nifty little play to quickly reverse it away. They'll do it again. Daniel Winnick with that short little pass. Cogliano careful, chips it to the far side, and Koivu protects the puck as he comes to center. Lost the handle, plays it across. Getzlaf had to make sure the change was complete before he played that puck, or else it could have been too many men on the ice. Koivu to the near hash mark, keeps it alive, tries to spin off of Garrison on a cycle play with Daniel Winnick. Winnick, nice play as he gets away from Higgins into the middle. Blocked the save by Schneider. That may have been his best of the night. And he's made some good ones already.
Yeah, Winnick again impresses with a quick move off the boards, gets the puck into the middle of the ice. And a quick little snapshot forces Corey Schneider to come up big once again.
Brian Allen hands it off, gets off with speed through center. Across the line, wanted to give and go, but Palmieri couldn't get it back to him. Now Spiza waits for the mates to get onside and puts it on the glass and in. Bieksa rims it around. Good puck recovery, and it's Surrey who got his shot through. Another save for Schneider. It's been all Ducks in the early going. Palmieri centers, and it came between the circles before Henrik Sedin finally taps it away for brother Daniel. Across the line to the corner. This is Hansen, and he's stripped behind the net on a nice play by Surrey. Holding the point, Henrik Sedin across for Dan Hamhuis to the dot. That's blocked. Hamhuis gets it back, slides it to the line. Wrist shot by Bieksa. That doesn't get through. And it's Corey Perry who picks it up after knocking it down.
What hands by Corey Perry. He just bats that puck out of midair like it's nothing.
Boy, there have been very few whistles, and we're over 7 minutes into it. Shot 7-2 in favor of the Ducks. No score at Honda Center. Ludman breaks up a pass in the neutral zone. Solani got to it, but couldn't find Ryan. Hamhuis pitches it in. Back to get it, Francois Beauchemin. Ludman around the boards, intercepted by Burrows, who puts it right on goal, and that'll be held by Jonas Hiller. When you're hot, shoot, and Daniel Winnick has been hot. Another nifty move in a scoreless first period. It's a fast start for Anaheim this season. We mentioned it at the top, 2-0, but it's been entertaining too, Hazy, especially if you like offense.
Well, and there have been ups and downs in both of the games that the Ducks have played. I think most coaches and most players will tell you that no one's really put in a 60-minute perfect performance just yet.
I don't think anybody in the league thinks they've done that yet.
The word in the Anaheim locker room this morning was, we can't be satisfied. There's a lot they can clean up in their game. They know that. There have been some terrific elements, especially offensively, though, for this hockey team in the early going. Great, great habits.
Well, speaking of offense, when the Ducks scored 5 goals this year, Hooters will reward fans with 5 free wings. Visit AnaheimDucks.com/Hooters to print the coupon. It's redeemable at any Southern California location for 24 hours following that game. Well, when the Ducks score 5 goals or more, that's been every game so far this season. And here's a turnover in the neutral zone. Koivu goes wide and is forced in behind the net before he's upended in the near corner. Cogliano supports and comes away with the puck. Right back for his centerman. Koivu keeps it deep. Winnick protects the puck so well as he keeps it away from Ballard. Angles it back to the line. And now Koivu slips away from his man as he gets behind the net, sets up Winnick, and he draws the attention of Tanev. And he's going to pick up a penalty here.
Oh, I didn't see it. I think Daniel Winnick is going to get a holding penalty. He took one hand off the stick. And did he make contact with the Vancouver defender? Oh, right there. Yeah, he does. He reaches, and that's going to cost him a couple of minutes. It was Keith Ballard. He took one hand off the stick. He made contact with the head of Ballard. I think they're calling it a holding penalty. And so first power play of the game belongs to Vancouver. And this is the primary concern for the Ducks heading into this game. Penalty killing has been an issue for Anaheim.
The Canucks are 3 for 13 in the early going this year with the extra man, including a 2 for 4 performance in the loss to Anaheim last Saturday up in British Columbia. Hamhuis just keeps it in at the line behind the net. Burrows collects it. He's converged upon, loses the puck, speeds it, chips it ahead. Getzlaf couldn't get to it. Burrows works it around, and Bieksa activates from the point. Gets point coverage back to Schrader, who slides it across. Hamhuis with a drive off the shoulder of Hiller, who doesn't know where it is as it comes off the back glass right into the goal crease.
That's a big stop by Jonas Hiller. Kind of a strange carom off the inboards, and that puck comes right back out in front, trickles into the crease. Not a lot of size up front for the Canucks here on this power play unit. When you look at it, you got Raymond and Burrows and Schroeder, smaller players, but I think another penalty has been doled out against Anaheim. There's Hiller scrambling back to the short side post.
Getzlaf goes to the box here.
This is a tough call.
I didn't see the indication.
Tough call. Ryan Getzlaf, the cross-checking penalty against him. And this is not what Bruce Boudreau wanted to see. 5-on-3 power play for 1:29 here for Vancouver.
So Henrik Sedin will come out to take the draw, and he wins it.
The Ducks want to attempt against that cross-ice pass. Don't let the Sedins get a tap-in goal here.
Edler moves it down low. Henrik always looking for his brother Daniel as Burrows parked in front. Edler walks the line. They can be patient. Great pass across to Daniel. He tried to pass one more time. Burrows couldn't get it on net.
Boy, an opportunity to clear, and Tony Ludman, unfortunately, on the backhand side, could not get it out.
It's Edler once more. Henrik, bottom of the circle, across to brother Daniel, and this time he chooses not to pass. It's 1-0.
Tic-tac-toe, a beautiful cross-ice pass, and it is buried. Not much chance for Jonas Hiller. The Canucks move it around. Anaheim had a chance to clear, couldn't get it out. Watch this pass. Thing of beauty right through the legs of Francois Beauchemin, and it's in the back of the net. Look at that. Underneath the goal stick of Jonas Hiller. If you talk to Jonas Hiller about that pass, John, he'll say that his opportunity to make the save was to deny the pass that went through the blue paint and got across to Daniel.
Daniel Sedin's second of the season at .913 from his brother Henrik. Daniel Sedin with points in all 4 games in the early going for the Canucks here. Both of his goals have come on the power play, and they both come against Anaheim. Here's a no-no for the Canucks, still on the power play as they're whistled for an icing call.
And see, this is the big concern for Boudreau in this game. Those two guys right there, the Sedins, no Kessler, no Booth. Don't let them beat you. But every time you put them on the power play, you enhance the likelihood of the Sedins beating you essentially all by themselves.
Well, they've taken some of the life out of this building as well. It was an insanely entertaining first 8 or 9 minutes of this game. Now the fans see their home team down a goal, and now a very important minute in this hockey game as Getzlaf still has that much left to serve in his cross-check. Burrows on left wing into the Anaheim zone, drops it back. Mason Raymond slides it across as he mans 1 point. Now he'll go to the half wall and get it back from Hamhuis. Raymond, the Ducks content to give him time and space. Gets it back from Hamhuis. Hamhuis fakes the shot. Now over to Bieksa. 30 seconds left in the power play as Hamhuis' shot is deflected out of play. Nick Bonino getting his stick in there.
Yeah, very good patience shown by the Ducks penalty killing unit. They protect the house, as they say. They collapse down low. They prevent any cross-ice passes from happening down below the tops of the circles. And eventually, all that's left is that long-range shot from the blue line that Bonino actually deflects out of play.
Face-off will be to the left of Hiller. Koivu to take the draw for the Ducks against Henrik Sedin. Henrik Sedin tying Stan Smeal on the all-time Vancouver games played list by participating in this one tonight. He's played the last 585 consecutively as he nears 900 games in his career, all in a Canucks sweater. Henrik brings it across the line, drops it off for Daniel. He battles it back to his brother. Behind the back, Daniel on the half wall. They overload the left side. Now they'll work it back to the right point. The penalty is over to Getzlaf. Edler slides a wrist shot wide and off the back of the Anaheim net. Surrey outlets to the captain. So Vancouver now 1 for 2 on the power play as an errant pass through center misses Winnick, and this will be an icing call against the Ducks.
The Ducks survive the second half of that Vancouver power play, and so it remains just a one-goal game. And now let's see if they can reestablish a little bit of momentum. Big key moving forward in this game is going to be to find a way to continue to pressure the Canucks defense. In that opening game of the regular season, Vancouver was guilty of shots on puck for a number of different times. So you want to keep up the pressure, but you got to do it and not take those penalties, especially in the offensive zone.
Bruce Boudreau sends Saku Koivu out as a late replacement and a second face-off option, but Getzlaf wins the draw. And he'll take the outlet pass at center. Puts it high in the air over the high glass and out of play. And that'll bring a whistle and a stoppage. 8:48 to go in the opening period. The Canucks have struck first on the power play.
A great moment earlier tonight as Ducks owner Henry Samueli cruising through the concourse, welcoming the fans back into Honda Center. I think that would be kind of cool for fans to shake the hand of the Ducks owner, and Henry very appreciative, of course, of the support here on opening night. Sold out building, great atmosphere, Johnny.
He's not one who seeks out the limelight, but you can tell how excited the fans were to meet him and how appreciative they are for all he has done for this franchise in his time as owner now for the last 8 seasons.
One of the great philanthropists here in Orange County.
Burrows loses the puck in front of the Vancouver bench, and Anaheim possesses. Ducks have had the better of the play, but they took a couple of penalties and give up a goal down 5-on-3, and now trail 1-0. Schneider, who's been the best Canuck so far, plays it behind the net. Burrows with space through the middle of the ice into the Anaheim zone, and his stick lifted. Nice defensive play by Paul Mary. Fowler careful as he takes it behind the net. Dug out by Hansen. High drive from the line, rattles the glass. And Getzlaf collects it. An area pass ahead for Perry, who was offside at the stripe. Fox Sports has joined the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network to help double the survival rate for pancreatic cancer by the year 2020. Join us and help advance research, support patient, and create hope for those affected by this disease. Visit www.pancan.org/Fox to learn how you can get involved. Solani chases up the left side into the Vancouver zone, and he ties up Tanev. Puck still along the base of the dasher. Bobby Ryan swiping at it, unable to come away with it. And here's Aaron Volpatti to center, and he is crunched by Bobby Ryan as he dumps it in. Hiller plays it back, and that went off of the Vancouver player. He had to hustle to get back into his goal crease, as it was Andrew Ebbett who caused a little havoc and forced Hiller to make one more save.
Bobby Ryan, pointless thus far in the regular season, and most players will tell you when the goals aren't coming and the scoring chances aren't coming, there are always other things you can do out there on the ice to have an impact, and that was a good bump by Bobby Ryan on Volpatti.
Shots have evened up as a result of that two-man advantage on the power play. Vancouver now out shooting the Ducks 8-7. Long drive wide of the Anaheim goal off the one face-off in the offensive zone, and now it's Spiza who had his pocket picked by Jordan Schrader. Schrader across the line on right wing. The diminutive centerman stands just 5'9", tried to drop pass, and that was intercepted and brought back the other way by Peter Holland. I haven't seen much of Holland in this game. The special teams play taking shifts away from him. Just a couple of shifts in the early going. His first action this season. He got 4 games a year ago. Scored a goal, incidentally, at Honda Center against Vancouver while he was up with the big club, but that's way back last season in November. Holland actually hasn't played a game in 2 weeks. He was with Norfolk in the American League. So he'll try to shake a little rust here. Out with Valesky and Smith-Pelly as Raymond collects the puck for Vancouver behind the Anaheim goal. Mason Raymond Had a goal against Calgary 2 nights ago, but is stripped by Spiza. And around the boards, Smith-Pelly able to force it out center ice.
Yeah, some good work along the boards by Smith-Pelly. The Canucks had the Ducks all penned up there. Long shift for Lucas Spiza. It's been well over 6 minutes now since Anaheim has had a shot on goal. And so those penalties that they took really kind of switched the momentum around in this game.
Koivu trying to bank it off the boards at the blue line, but it was intercepted, drawing Anaheim offside. First road game of the season for the Vancouver Canucks. They opened with 3 straight at home. Their only win came in a shootout 2 nights ago against Calgary, that game I mentioned a moment ago. Lane Vigneault and his team having a little trouble generating offense. They've scored only 7 goals, Hazy, in 3 games.
And not really surprising given their injury situation. You know, I think teams are really bearing down on the Sedins, as expected.
Fowler's shot blocked, comes right back to Koivu, and Winnick was in front, may have gotten a redirect on it as Schneider kicked it away. Again, the Anaheim third line wreaking havoc in the Vancouver zone. Winnick on a cycle play gets it back from Cogliano. Tied up by Bieksa, who's able to swat it behind the net, and Hamhuis collects. Puck skips across the neutral zone, and Henrik Sedin swats it in. Vancouver will change. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go, opening period at Honda Center, 1-0 Vancouver. Outlet pass that Getzlaf wasn't able to get. Brian Allen can't clear the zone. Burrows pass across, and a good recovery by Perry, who got his stick in the passing lane. Canucks keep it in, however. Edler slides it across. Garrison's wrist shot. That went off of Brian Allen. Centered off the stick of Getzlaf. Perry will give it back to him. He'll bring it out of harm's way. Hoists it on the open right wing, and Palmieri runs it down. Kyle Palmieri leaves it for Perry. Sweeps it behind the goal for Getzlaf. Tries to give it back. Perry bounces off the hit of Hansen there. Getzlaf steps in front. Great pass across. Beauchemin, a great save by Schneider. Boy, either got his blocker or his right pad on that one.
Well, what a pass by Getzlaf. What a pass.
Here's a turnover. Perry the other way. Just missed. Ducks almost caught Vancouver on a change. Now they'll hinge it back in their own zone. Well, it's been an entertaining opening period, Hazy. The Ducks came out flying, had nothing to show for it, and Vancouver played on the power play and got the only goal. But don't discount Corey Schneider's contribution so far tonight for the Canucks. He has been wonderful. Bonino chases down the dump in the left corner. Tanev kicks it away from him. Bobby Ryan pursues, while Patty turns back into Bonino and has to put it up on the glass.
Yeah, great pressure by the Ducks again.
Held in by Surrey. Hard wrist shot. Kicked away by Schneider. The Salem, Massachusetts native has been a star here in the first period for Vancouver. 10 saves for Corey Schneider. Ebbett, the former Duck, centers. It's in the crease, and it's covered by Jonas Hiller. Plenty of action at Honda Center. Just 1 goal.
Trailing by a goal, the Ducks continue to generate chances. Ryan Getzlaf, the head up, bombs Francois Beauchemin, and Corey Schneider aggressively sliding up to the top of the crease, just gets a little piece of that puck. Watch how aggressive he is on this one. Corey Perry all by himself, and Schneider gets a good read on this. He's a good 5 feet up from that goal crease. He knows that Corey Perry doesn't need a lot of room, but by challenging so aggressively, he forces Perry to shoot wide.
Schneider, a 3-year standout at Boston College, appearing against the Ducks for just the 8th time in his career. Now in his 5th year in the National Hockey League. Bobby Ryan trying to pick it off the boards and take it with him. Bonino instead slides it across for Fowler. Into the middle, little give and go comes back from Solani. Schrader ties up Temu's stick. Bobby Ryan trying to shovel it to the front of the net for the 42-year-old Solani, but it went straight up in the air. Mason Raymond dumps it in on a penalty coming up to Brian Allen. He delivers the big hit at the blue line on Dale Weiss.
Yeah, it's a split second late. And even though it's a great hit, it was late. Here's the little chip, or the pass given up by Weiss into the middle of the ice. You know, in slow-mo, it's so close. But when I first saw it, John, I thought it was a hair late. I think the referee
So the Ducks, albeit early in the season, the least penalized team in the league, have taken 3 minor penalties here in the opening period. And once again, a crucial penalty kill, down a goal with 2:59 to go in the first.
Yeah, it's a big moment. Anaheim's played, I think they've played their best period, ironically, of this season. And yet, boy, they got a huge kill right here.
Henrik Sedin circles the Anaheim goal, gets upended, loses the puck, and Winnick is able to clear.
And Sedin's trying to draw a call there. I mean, that's a dive. He's trying to draw the additional minor to turn it into a 5-on-3.
Again.
And I think a sigh of relief on the Anaheim bench that the referee did not call that one as well.
Henrik Sedin coming late, dances his way, and from a sharp angle, Hiller holds the post. Edler at the line, steers it to the near boards. Off the half wall, it's Henrik Sedin. Puts it down low for Daniel. Behind the net, looking for a passing lane. Beauchemin giving him absolutely no space. Edler steps into a one-timer, and that's selflessly blocked by Koivu.
That's something that the Ducks on the penalty kill have not done a lot of this year. Getting into those shooting lanes. That was a key block in front of Hiller.
Minute gone in the penalty to Brian Allen. And Bieksa brings it to center, drops it back. Mason Raymond coming late with speed. Knocked off his stick at the line. Burrows loses it. And Bolesky hustles the other way. Doesn't see much there, so he shovels it the rest of the lane. And Cogliano pressures with his trademark speed. Canucks bring it in on left wing. Burrows pulls up, drops it back, and that one trickles through Raymond and out of the zone. Minute 25 to go in the period. Now 25 left in the penalty. Great pass across by Burrows, and the Canucks get another one on the power play. Mason Raymond, it's 2-0.
This play happens at the Anaheim blue line when Lucas Spiza loses his check. Hughes headmans the puck, but Spiza gets overly aggressive, and Burrows slides right by him. And it's another pass, zipped cross ice to the top of the Anaheim goal crease, and not much chance again for Jonas Hiller. Mason Raymond is second of the season. Penalty killing has been a problem for Anaheim here.
Asked earlier this week what Bruce Boudreau thinks his team needs to do better on the penalty kill. He said, we can be better at everything. And I don't think he's going to be pleased with the opening period. Vancouver 2 for 3 on the power play. Clearly the story of this opening frame. They lead 2-0 with only a minute remaining. Jannik Hansen up right wing. Gets center red and sends it in off of Brian Allen. Allen goes behind the Anaheim goal and sweeps it along for Getzlaf. Getzlaf finds the open man Fowler, who again jumps into the rush. Drops it for Corey Perry. Perry heads to the front of the net. A sliding play by Tanev to knock it off his stick. And it's Hansen up the right side. He didn't get the red line. He chips it in and gives chase. It won't go far enough for icing anyway. Hansen gets it back, plays it deep behind the net, and Fowler is pressured there. Daniel Sedin puts it to the line. Tanev measures, fires, kicked away by Hiller.
That's a good stop by Jonas Hiller. Again, traffic in front.
Henrik hooks it back through, and Daniel's backhander nearly finding the near side post. Hansen shovels it into the goal crease, and Hiller gloves it out of midair as it came off his padding.
Good job by Jonas Hiller. Chaotic situation. Again, the Sedin's on the ice and attacking aggressively. Jannik Hansen is being given a great opportunity here to play with the Sedins. Cassian filled that role admirably last game for Vancouver. You play with the Sedins and you go to the front of the net, you tend to get a lot of scoring chances, John.
You know, Hazy, it strikes me, I don't remember seeing Zach Cassian since maybe the first or second shift of this game. Jannik Hansen has replaced him on right wing on the top line with the Sedins. We may have to see if there's an injury update available, but nonetheless, the Canucks making the power play work in the opening period.
You know, everything was, I think, satisfying for Bruce Boudreau with the exception of the penalty kill. We were concerned about taking penalties against this Vancouver club. Anytime you give the Sedins that much time on the ice with a man advantage, it spells problems. And for whatever reason, the Ducks just seem out of sorts on the penalty kill. They're not sure when to be aggressive, when to be passive. They seem to be caught in the middle, and it's costing them.
The Canucks victimized the Ducks on the power play in 4 games last season, only twice. They've already scored 4 in 4 periods against the Ducks in 2 games, including 2 here in the first period at Honda Center. Anaheim Ducks hockey is brought to you by Honda, official vehicle of the NHL and Anaheim Ducks. And by Pepsi. Now is what we make it. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get out there and live it. It's time to live for now. Ducks down a pair as we get set to start the second period of play at Honda Center against the Vancouver Canucks. Let's go to the Anaheim bench and Kent French.
Standing by with assistant coach Bob Woods. Even strength, you outplayed Vancouver. Special teams, a different story. How do you keep that intensity in the second period but stay out of the penalty box?
Well, definitely have to stay out of the box. You know, they've got a pretty potent power play as we've seen, and you know, we just got to keep going at them. You know, I thought maybe too many times we passed up some shooting opportunities, and we got to get more pucks at the net.
Coach, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
First time this season that the Ducks have not scored first in a game, and for the first time they find themselves on the short end of the stick after 1 period of play. The good news is, long way to go. And Anaheim has yet to have a power play of their own in this hockey game.
That's the old story. You got to keep the legs churning. You got to continue to flip in pucks, get it in behind the Vancouver defense. Essentially, most coaches say the same thing when they talk to their players. If we take more penalties than they take, it's because they're working a little bit harder than we're working. So Bruce Boudreau will just encourage the troops. There's a lot of, as you mentioned, John, a lot of time left in this game. They don't want to do anything out of the ordinary here to try and get the first goal of the hockey game. They just got to continue at even strength to continue playing the way they have been playing.
Both teams full strength as the second period gets underway. And the pass deflected by Jannik Hansen in behind the Anaheim goal. Hiller stops it for Brian Allen. The one-time Canuck trying to find Palmieri sneaking between the defense. Couldn't quite lead him enough, but it's fought into the zone by Corey Perry, who has his shot deflected into the netting above the glass.
And when in doubt, when you do have the puck in the offensive zone, why not put it on goal? Force Corey Schneider to keep playing at the same level that he played at in the opening period. Every time you put the puck on the net, the goaltender not only has to stop it, but he has to make sure that he puts the rebound in the right spot. And that's the reason why you take those long-range shots from the wing. You're essentially challenging the goaltender not so much to make the save, but to make the right play and control the rebound.
Ludman knocks down a pass in the neutral zone, now backs to his own stripe with it and will hinge it back for his defensive partner, Francois Beauchemin. Koivu helps out. The two of them play catch. The pass is offside at the blue line. I thought it was interesting talking to Bruce Boudreau earlier this week, Hazy. He said as coaches during the lockout, we had nothing to do, so we tinkered with line combinations. He said at one point we came up with 5,000 different line combinations, and I asked him, I said, did any of those combinations ever not have Getzlaf and Perry together? And in one word, he said, nope.
Well, he sure picked the right combination, didn't he, with Daniel Winnick, Koivu, and Andrew Cogliano. I mean, it has been the Ducks' best line so far this season. It's early, and I think some of the other guys, some of the offensive stars like Ryan and Perry and Getzlaf, they're still not quite up to 100% just yet.
Once again this year, American Honda brings you the 3-star leaderboard. The first star of the game will earn 3 points. The second star gets 2, and the third star will earn 1 point. Last year's winning player was Corey Perry. Who will be the leader this year? Time will tell. Bobby Ryan with a nice play at the blue line as he strips the puck from Christopher Tanev. But Tanev knocks it back away. So Anaheim restarts out of their own zone, and Nick Bonino tips it in. Bonino, good pressure, breaks up the outlet pass around the boards, and now Anaheim on the forecheck regains possession. Surrey wraps it around, waiting in the far corner. Bobby Ryan protects the puck, but he's double-teamed, and Mason Raymond comes away with it.
Ducks are caught.
3-on-2, 4-on-3 now, and then peeling away was Tanev, and back come the Ducks in transition. Solani on a drop pass from Ryan, tries to return, the favor comes back to him, and he sent it just wide.
He swept that puck towards Schneider.
He's got it again, and that's off the side of the net. Good work down low by Bonino, Ryan, and Solani. And now Spiza steps into Weiss at center ice as he dumps it in. Big collision behind the net between Peter Holland and Aaron Volpatti. Volpatti gets it back and throws it across the Anaheim zone, activating his BX to run it down. And then his pass back to Andrew Evatt is out of his reach. Evatt gets back in the lineup tonight after being a healthy scratch 2 nights ago at home against Calgary, and he'll tap it to the line for Hamhuis. Hamhuis' shot deflected on the way, knocked down by Spiza, and Bolesky pulls it back. Drop pass for Peter Holland. Holland tries to return the favor, and that's knocked down by Evatt.
And I can tell you when Peter Holland gets back to the bench, Bruce Boudreau's going to whisper in his ear and just say, shoot the puck. Don't be afraid to shoot the puck.
Good pressure there as Bolesky does not allow the Canucks to exit the zone. And as it's hoisted back, Brian Allen has time and space. Not quite 3 minutes into the second period at Honda Center. 2-0 Vancouver has the lead. Allen's pass taken off the skate by Perry, but Burrows gets his stick in the passing lane. Fowler follows up. Say that 3 times fast. Palmieri pressuring Bieksa, and now Perry doing the same to Jason Garrison. Burrows drops down to help out. Oh, there's a big hit on the near side as Allen got a big piece of Hansen, and then Burrows steps into him, and the Ducks are going to get their first power play here as Burrows is going to take the penalty.
He dropped the stick and he grabbed hold of Brian Allen.
Fowler finds the man Palmieri through center. He goes wide on the right side, hits the brakes. Ducks get Hiller out of the net for the extra attacker, but Bieksa will touch up. And Alexander Burrows will get the gate, and Anaheim will get their first power play chance.
This is what you got to be aware of when Brian Allen is on the ice. A big open ice hit, and he gets the best of Hansen, but Burrows comes in and just grabs him. Free hand, see that? Dropped the stick in order to grab him, and that's going to be called most every time. So it's been a special teams kind of game so far, and the Ducks certainly hoping on their opening power play of the game to get on the board.
They were 3 for 3 in Vancouver last Saturday night, so you know the Canucks wanted to stay out of the box. Let's see if they can stay perfect against Vancouver.
Took them all of a minute and 24 seconds of power play time to score those 3 goals, too. Everything was going in.
Perry off the near wall, sweeps it down low. Solani draws attention, drops it back, and a rolling puck that Surrey has trouble with. Good puck retrieval as Solani got it to the captain, Getzlaf to Surrey, who will whip it around. Perry stops it behind the net, tries to center. Edler knocks it away, but again gets support from Getzlaf. The open man is Surrey. He thinks better of the shot. Again off the half wall, the captain gets offside of the net for Perry. Can't find Solani in front. Getzlaf's shot off a skate. Perry dives to keep the play alive. Getzlaf will stop and go on the far wall, hooks it back to the line, and Surrey will hold his own. He and Fowler manning the points. Solani off the right half wall, back to Surrey. Winds, fires. That's the big shot that missed on the short side. Fowler gets it back to him. Cam will bring it off the boards. Again, the open man at the line, Surrey. Shot pass to Getzlaf in the near circle. Passes it right into the goal crease. Schneider didn't see it till the last moment. Again, Getzlaf tries to find Perry. Gets it back, and a glove save by Schneider.
Well, great offensive zone time. And we've talked before about how more effective power plays are in the second period of games because you can trap a team out on the ice because of the long change. Look at this, power play goals by period. This is the total number of power play goals that have been scored. And you can see almost 38% of the total power play goals have actually come in the second period. And it's all because teams have difficulty changing the personnel and keeping fresh troops on the ice. So a huge opportunity here for the Ducks.
You've been busy at home doing math. That's a lot of research, Hazy.
Comes from our friends at Stats Inc.
Going way back there. Must have quite a collection of game sheets in your office at home. Bobby Ryan on the near boards for Nick Bonino as the second power play unit is out for the Ducks. Now just 15 seconds remaining in the penalty to Alexander Burrows. Koivu digs it out. Spiza fakes the shot. And gets it back and does a nice job to keep it in. Off his skate, Ryan finds Koivu. Back to Spiza, one-timer wide. Penalty is over. Burrows out of the box, and the puck will come to him. He jumps on it in the neutral zone. Can he get behind Spiza? And Spiza will draw a penalty here as he hooks the stick of Alexander Burrows, and it will be a penalty shot.
Wow. This is a huge moment in this hockey game. Boudreau doesn't like the call. There's no doubt, however, But Alex Burrows is in alone, and watch the hook. Contact with the hands denies the scoring chance.
So Anaheim fails on the power play. They get only one shot on goal, and just seconds after the penalty expires, Alexander Burrows will have a penalty shot against Jonas Hiller. Burrows, a left-hand shot. 20 goals in each of the last 4 years. Swings in, mishandles the puck, and is beaten as he goes backhand. And his undoing may have been when he lost the handle.
Yeah, and he picked his head up, and just as he did, the puck started to roll. And that completely disrupted his rhythm. Watch where this puck is in front of Alex Burrows. See him fumble for it? As soon as he puts his head down, Hiller knows that he's got him. He's not going to be able to get the puck back quickly enough to shoot. Hiller knows at that point he's deking. So he can back up a little bit more, protect against the deke, and he does it superbly. Huge stop by Jonas Hiller.
Burrows was the leading scorer for Vancouver last season in the season series against the Ducks. He had 2 goals and 5 points. But remember that one, folks. Early in the second, Hiller stops the penalty shot. Now Cogliano just missing the net as he speeds in off left wing. Winnick gets it back to the line. Beauchemin's shot deflects to Winnick, who dives to keep it alive. Cogliano hits the brakes. Bieksa quick to pick him up, keeping him to the outside, but Cogliano still possesses. Point of the net, as Getzlaf just firing it towards the net, and that one nearly ended up at the far post for Winnick. Cogliano digs it free. It's been a long shift. Winnick gets it from Getzlaf. He gives it back. Spin move by the captain, who throws it across. It's behind Cogliano.
Yeah, terrific shift here by the Ducks. And good pressure again. Boy, Anaheim has had some point-blank chances here in the second period already, but they've misfired on them, John. They've missed the net on probably their best scoring chances.
Cassian forcing it across the line. Here's Mason Raymond. Hits the brakes in the corner, throws it to the line for Tanev. Far point Ballard. Shot pass misses Raymond, who wasn't expecting it, and Ludman takes it off the corner boards and sand wedges it to center. That went off the shoulder of Bonino, and quickly in transition, here's Raymond in front. He's got Schrader. He was all tied up, but he kept the puck alive as he played it back to the line. It'll go all the way down.
Oh boy, Vancouver, a nice play in transition there. And they're trying to catch the Ducks defense being too aggressive and stepping up in the neutral zone. They're trying to chip pucks in behind them and take advantage of their speed. We talk a lot about the Twins in Vancouver, and John, you call them the Twins here in Anaheim. Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaf. Last 4 seasons, you see, Corey Perry's got the 5th most goals in the National Hockey League. He's got a Hart Trophy and a Maurice Richard Trophy under his belt. And as for the Sedins, well, there's a lot of hardware in their cabinets. Daniel with an Art Ross, a Ted Lindsay Award, and Henrik Sedin with a Hart and an Art Ross. And they've been able to hold the Ducks Twins in check so far in this game. But Ryan Getzlaf in particular, I think, has generated a ton of offense already tonight, setting people up. They've had their chances. They just haven't been able to bury them yet.
Coaches always tell you, as long as you're getting chances, that's a good sign. Ballard from behind the goal finds Evatt. His pass to Max Lapierre is off his stick and deep into the Anaheim zone. 2/3 of this line for Alain Vigneault, his 4th line tonight. Former Anaheim Ducks and Lapierre and Evatt. Aaron Volpatti rounding out the trio. And the physical play picking up. Devontae Smith-Pelly getting a good hit on Chris Tanev. Smith-Pelly led the Ducks in hits in Calgary despite playing only about 10 minutes in that game against the Flames. He hustles back to the Anaheim bench. Icing will be the call against the Ducks. Well, join us tomorrow. We'll be right back here at Honda Center. The Ducks host the Nashville Predators. All fans in attendance receive a free magnet schedule presented by Hormel Chili. 877 Wild Wing is the number to call, or go to AnaheimDucks.com/tickets. Big hockey night on Fox tomorrow. That game immediately following the Kings game from earlier in the afternoon.
First look at the Predators, John, without Ryan Suter in the lineup, and that's a big loss for them during the offseason.
But much like the Phoenix Coyotes, Nashville always figures out a way to compete and be there in the end. When it comes to the playoff picture in the West, you can't say enough about what Barry Trotz, David Poile, and that organization do year in, year out. had the Ducks number the last few years.
Yeah, they sure have.
Holland gets it out of his skates at center and hoists it into the Vancouver zone. Ducks pressure the puck. Oh, Perry sidestepping Edler behind the goal. And Spiza misfiring from the line. Palmieri runs it down behind the net. Getzlaf wants to bring it in front, backhands it into the crease. Battling away where both Palmieri and Perry, neither could find it.
Yeah, they're going into the right areas. They're getting right into that crease area, but they've just been unable to get a touch on the puck when it's ended up in the blue paint. Corey Schneider's been very, very good. Watch the play by Ryan Getzlaf here. A little spinorama, just throws it. He knows that Perry's there. I'm sure he got a little yell. Well, I was talking earlier with Kyle Palmieri about his line with Getzlaf and Perry, and I said, how much talking do you actually do? He said, we do a lot. Zach Cassian is a disturber, and you can see he'd love to bring Corey Perry off the ice if he can. Sheldon Sore steps into the mix and says, I'm not going to let you do that.
Corey Perry stirring it up a little bit. That line with Palmieri and Getzlaf has been stirring it up at the other end offensively. They just have nothing to show for it right now.
I don't think if you're Alain Vigneault, you want Zach Cassian getting Corey Perry too fired up for this game. He's been quiet so far tonight. Hasn't had a ton of chances, but you don't want to wake that guy up. He's too good.
Nearing the halfway mark of the hockey game, 2-0 Vancouver. A thus far scoreless second as Hansen storms in. Tries to get around Spiza, then puts it right back into the goal crease as he makes his way behind the net. Burrows couldn't get there. Koivu on a give and go with Winnick has it knocked off his stick at the line, and that forces Anaheim offside.
Really impressed with the start to this season for Saku Koivu. So aggressive in the offensive zone and so responsible in his own end of the ring.
I talked to him yesterday, Casey, about whether or not the extended break may have had a similar effect for him as it did for his buddy Teemu Selanne 8 years ago. He said, well, clearly I'm not coming back from an injury, but he said, you know, I feel very, very good, and the key for him, he said, is I've gotten through the first 10, 12 days of the season, and my groins feel good. Of course, he's had chronic issues with that that's forced him out of games the last few years. Speaking of Selanne, he tries to connect with Bobby Ryan. A little two-man game into the Vancouver zone. Now Bonino takes it away. Hooks it right back into the crease off the stick of Schneider. Anaheim continues to play in Vancouver's end here in the second period. Bobby Ryan sends it straight up in the air. Glove down by Bonino, who quickly puts it down and tried to wrap it around. Back come the Canucks. Mason Raymond pitches it in and gives chase. Beauchemin moves it ahead and not ready for the pass or anticipating it was Bobby Ryan, and as it eludes him, it will be an icing call.
Well, this second line of the Ducks with Bonino in the middle between Ryan and Selanne. Last couple of games haven't been able to get much going offensively. They just look like they're a hair out of sync. They're close. They really haven't been able to test Corey Schneider much tonight.
Hiller holds off the face-off. And we are halfway through at Honda Center. Still 2-0 Canucks.
Midway through the second period, 2-0 Canucks here at Honda Center with Andrew Cogliano. You guys are playing in the Vancouver zone. You're creating scoring chances. What do you have to do to get a couple in the net?
Yeah, it seems like we just need one right now to get going. We're happy with our 5-on-5. We feel like we're taking most of the play, and they got guys that could really play some offensive hockey. So we're doing good things other than the BK goals we gave up, and now we just got to get one.
Is Corey Schneider playing his game tonight, or is it a matter of you just not being able to figure him out?
No, we just got to get a little more shots on him and see if we could get him up higher. We feel like he's covering the lower part of the net right now really well. So we feel like it just takes one and we can get going here.
I'd appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Johnny, back to you.
The old Teemu Selanne ketchup bottle theory.
A little bit of a book, perhaps, on Corey Schneider. You hear the players starting about saying we need to elevate the puck. Look for the top corners.
Near dangerous collision between Cassian and Getzlaf. They both get back up, and now behind the net, Schneider having a little problem with it. Palmieri nearly took it away.
Yeah, it's not his strength by any stretch of the imagination, the puck handling of Corey Schneider. And anytime you can force a goaltender to handle it on the backhand, I mean, I talk about defensemen and trying to force them to the backhand side. Especially true if a goaltender handles the puck.
Cogliano with a stop and start inside the line. Back for Spiza. Sends it to the net. Got a little redirect down the way. Tracked down again by Cogliano on the near side. Behind the net for Perry, who swats it back. Koivu gives chase. Up the boards, Cogliano denies the clear. Good work here by Andrew. Hustles behind the net. Felt the hit coming from Bieksa. Moves it away. Surrey does the same. Shot off the boards from Winnick. Deflected in front. Comes back in front, and Winnick again got a stick on.
Yeah, Winnick doesn't waste any time, does he? I mean, he gets that puck from his stick, and he just puts it on net.
Koivu wanted to bring it in front on the backhand. Instead, he'll go back on the forehand. Again to Surrey. Back to Saku. Hooks it to the corner for Winnick. Boy, you got to think the Canuck defenders are tired. They've been out there a long time in the defensive zone. Spiza all the way to the top. And that one off the high glass and out of play.
Good shot by Lucas Spiza. No traffic, however, in front of the goaltender Schneider. Saku Koivu seemed to get out of the way. He was looking for a rebound. He knew that Bieksa was probably going to try and go for the block, and Koivu was trying to put a pick on Bieksa to prevent him from doing that. It allows Schneider to get a good peek at that bid by Lucas Spiza.
He was trying to lean into Bieksa as he came towards him to keep him from getting in that shooting lane. Max LaPierre breaks out, and it's off an Anaheim stick as he dumps it in. No icing, and it's touched first by the Canucks anyway. Well, Potty got to it first. Now back the other way, Bobby Ryan.
Fourth line.
Wide.
Sorry, Johnny. Fourth line of the Canucks here out against the Ducks' second line. So this is an opportunity.
Bobby Ryan looked like he got hit by a high stick from Andrew Ebbett. Play goes on, and the fourth line for Vancouver clears the zone. And a penalty coming up to Anaheim here. Is this going to go against Nick Bonino for interference? It is.
Yeah, I don't like this call because Bonino was inside. He was inside of the Vancouver player. Watch Bonino. See him get a shoulder inside. You know what? He reaches. He does take his hand off the stick, and he uses the arm. It's a tough call, but the players have been warned. I mean, they were sat down. They got to watch a video from the league about use of the free hand. The referee said they were going to crack down on that, on those types of infractions early, and that's why Bonino's in the box.
Canucks have been lethal, 2 for 3 on the power play tonight, and they win the draw. Garrison's got the big shot, and a selfless play by Winnick to block it. Side of the net, time and space for Tony Lutman, and he'll send it all the way back. Schneider with a rolling puck, and he doesn't serve it up for his defense. Guess who took it? Winnick. And Winnick now tackled in the corner. The fans want a call, but they don't get.
Yeah, Edler gets away with it.
Henrik Sedin leads it the other way on the give and go. Peels off the far boards from brother Daniel. Edler, and he play catch now along the left boards. Henrik into the middle, and Daniel thought he had point coverage from Garrison. Instead, the puck rolls out of the zone. Canucks back onside. Daniel Sedin, snapshot, blocked down the way, comes right back to him, so he'll give it to Garrison. Now they overload the right side of the zone. Nice plays. It's poked off the stick of Daniel Sedin by Beauchemin. Then the shot from Henrik doesn't get through. Off the glass to the line. Lutman gets the roll. And it comes out center ice. Winnick pokes it away. Valesky gives chase. Ducks change on the kill. 50 seconds left in the penalty to Nick Bonino.
Second power play unit out for the Canucks now. Not certainly as threatening as their top unit. You get the Sedins off the ice. I'd be more concerned about the point shot from this second group.
Jordan Schrader just recalled from Chicago, the American League, a couple of days ago, centering this second power play unit, number 45 in white. He's got the puck now, right-hand shot. Played a couple of years at the University of Minnesota. Puts it in behind the goal. Now around it comes. Hamhuis gives it. Schrader has space, fires high. That one hit Burrows and went out of play. Or did it go off of Jonas Hiller?
I think it goes off the shoulder of Jonas Hiller, and that's why the faceoff is going to stay inside. Moments ago in the Vancouver zone, Alex Edler went into the corner. Watch what he does with his arm. He puts it on the back of Daniel Winnick, but you see how he kind of tucks it in? Almost like chicken wings it? He doesn't reach. It's not an extended arm. And that's why the referee does not call Alexander Edler for holding on the play.
Looks like they're taking a look at the mask of Jonas Hiller. 11 seconds left in the Vancouver power play. Maybe that shot didn't hit him in the shoulder after all.
Here it is. No, it's off.
Oh, yeah, right off the melon.
Off the temple of Jonas Hiller and out of play.
Hit him in the mind. Face off to the right of Jonas, controlled by the Ducks, and that should probably do it for the power play as Perry carries to center and rolls it into the Vancouver zone. Bonino out of the box, Anaheim full strength. And Vancouver now 2 for 4 on the power play tonight. They did not get a shot on goal on that power play, although they did hit Jonas Hiller in the head. Sharp angle shot kicked away by Hiller, and now Getzlaf headmans Perry across the line with Bonino. Bonino near the Anaheim bench, so he'll shovel it in and go to the bench for a change. Palmieri comes on for him. Spiza moves up the boards to keep the puck alive all the way around near side. Surrey will do the same. He collides with Max Lapierre. Still in. Good work by Surrey. Tanev fires it across the zone. Under 5 to go in the second now, as Vancouver leads by a pair. Surrey behind the net. Whips it around. Palmieri gets it out of his feet and plays it back to center. Canucks onside as Garrison gallops back in. His shot partially blocked, and Surrey covered the slot. Now Solani with a little space. Speeds away, but it's slashed off the stick on the back check from Christopher Higgins. Canucks try to stretch it, and it's Hansen up right wing. Joined by Evatt. He'll hit the brakes. Evatt back to Hansen, wanted to one-time it, had to play it on the back end, now fires wide off the end boards. Evatt tries to hook it back on net, but couldn't work his way around Fowler. Cam gives it to Solani, and the Ducks went offside as Bonino couldn't handle the pass, so time for Evatt.
Vancouver kind of sitting back here, John. Kind of quick strike, counterattack attempts by them, trying to catch the Ducks defense up ice.
Ducks have only 3 shots on goal this period, make it 4 as Hansen tips that one. But covering the bottom of the net was Hiller. Jammed back in front. It squirts out high, and Tanev serves it across. Aaron Volpatti with a wrist shot off a skate and then dangerously deflected just wide.
Brian Allen at the very last second came to the rescue right on the doorstep.
Smith-Pelly loses the handle, and Volpatti scores! Puck just went right through Devontae Smith-Pelly, and Aaron Volpatti was Johnny on the spot.
Turnover cost the Ducks here the 3rd goal of the hockey game, and this is a tough one. Watch this puck right here. Does it bounce? No. Smith-Pelly just started moving before he actually got control of that puck. And Volpatti says, thank you very much. And it's a quick, low shot that finds the 5-hole in behind Jonas Hiller. First goal of the season for Volpatti, and it's a big one.
He scored only once last season in 23 games. Missed a good portion of the season last year with a shoulder injury. Perhaps the most telltale sign about what the Canucks think of him, Hazy, is he changed his sweater number before opening night from 54 to 15. And that tells me they think he's going to be around.
Yeah, nice low number like that. Well, you know, Vancouver is always a team that is scrambling to stay under the salary cap. Volpatti is a guy that doesn't make a lot of money. He's a depth player for them. And, you know, hard salary cap league, you need a certain number of those players in your lineup.
An unassisted goal at 16:37, and the hill got a little steeper for Anaheim. Now 3-0 Vancouver. Henrik Sedin loses it on the far boards. Ducks have numbers. Here's Koivu from Pagliano, and Schneider smothers. No rebound, as fishing for loose change was Daniel Winnick. Under 3 to go in the second. 3 is now the deficit for the Ducks. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Anaheim Ducks is expressly prohibited.
Moments ago, Saku Koivu with a pretty good chance to close the gap for the Ducks, who trail by 3 in this one. Pagliano to Koivu, puck rolling a little bit, but Schneider once again rock solid, makes the save, keeps the puck right in front of him, so he has no problem corralling the rebound.
Boy, Edler with another solid hit down low that the fans thought should have resulted in a penalty, as Corey Perry was on the receiving end and gets up shaking his hand. Power plays are 4-1 in this game in favor of Vancouver. The score 3-0. Schrader whips one off the side of the Anaheim goal. Brought around near side by Mason Raymond. Edler misses on the short side from the near point. Canucks get the cycle going. Raymond chopping at it was Francois Beauchemin. Canucks change while they play in the Anaheim offensive zone, and now Raymond's pass is errant, will come around as Kyle Palmieri reverses it back. Getzlaf guns at the length of the ice right on goal, forcing Schneider to kick it away. Perry was heading to the net. And now a penalty coming up to Alexander Edler. With Perry. Oh, it's going to go against Corey Perry. Excuse me, Perry exacting a little revenge now, trying to get things to even up. Got a little bit of a slash from Ballard, but he can't get Edler to bite. Now Ballard has it in the high slot. Edler fakes the one-time shot. Fans aren't going to like this. Surrey will get a touch on it in the corner. And with just $1:16 to go in the second, another Vancouver power play forthcoming.
Yeah, I think the referee was looking for Corey Perry. Here's the no call with Alex Edler that Corey Perry certainly thought should have been a boarding call. So he's angry. He sees an opportunity to exact his revenge and didn't really get his money's worth on the attempted hit against Edler. The referee calls it charging. And I honestly think the referee was just looking for Corey Perry because he didn't like the comments of Perry. I mean, yes, he left his feet for the hit, but he barely made contact with Edler.
Boy, and there's an ongoing discussion down here between Dave Jackson and Teemu Solani, a couple of number 8s. Beauchemin is in there as well for the Ducks.
I'd asked for an explanation.
And put 4 up on the board.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Wow, and he didn't get his money on the roughing either. So those are 2 marginal calls against Corey Perry, and you can't tell me that the referee wasn't looking for both of them. Corey Perry was upset about the non-call. Obviously had words with the referee. The referee didn't like the fact that he had words with him. And so he decided to stick it to him, and he did.
Well, now they just showed the no call up on the scoreboard here, the Diamond Vision at center ice. So that just further incensed 17,000 plus.
Well, the difficulty now for the Ducks, they have not done a good job killing penalties so far this season. They need to kill both of these penalties off. And you also start to question the composure as well.
Big hit
that
by
get out of
Allen.
control.
But it's Edler who has the puck at the line, and it's fought off by Hiller and swatted away by Lucas Pisa. We're down to the final 35 seconds of the period. Nothing else. The Ducks can break this penalty kill into 2 segments. However, still over 3 minutes remaining on the 2 penalties to Perry. Garrison, he's got a heavy shot, and he lets it go. It goes off the boards and out of play. Cassian and Allen mix it up. In comes Bolesky. And this is where composure for Vancouver will keep them on the power play. Anaheim just trying to draw the Canucks into anything. Brian Allen's been very physical.
You know that Alain Vigneault is leaning over, whispering into the ears of his players and saying, guys, we have got them. They're losing their composure. Let's not lose ours. We've got a 3-0 lead. Coaches don't want their players to fight in these situations. They have all the momentum going their way, and they're winning on the scoreboard. Don't do anything that might change that momentum.
Schrader with a clean face-off win. Raymond's pass is deflected across the slot down to 10 seconds to go in the period as it's pitched the length of the ice by Andrew Cogliano. That might do it for the second period as Schneider stops it behind the goal and only 3 seconds remain. So the fans will get a chance to exact some frustration here as you can barely hear the horn in the background. But the Ducks still with over 2.5 minutes of penalty time to kill when the third period begins.
Well, you know, it's is early in the regular season, and certainly the Ducks will tell you that they haven't played a perfect period or perfect game thus far. The story of tonight's game is a lack of composure in my mind. The inability to kill penalties has really hurt Anaheim. I don't agree with the 2 calls against Corey Perry, and I would also say this, that I can't think of too many league MVPs that get that kind of treatment from the officials.
Well, Jonas Hiller stopped a penalty shot early in the period, but the Canucks do get a goal and add to their lead. We're through 40 minutes of play in Anaheim. Vancouver 3, the Ducks nothing. Anaheim Ducks hockey is brought to you by Honda, official vehicle of the NHL and Anaheim Ducks. And by Dollar Loan Center. Get a $2,500 signature loan at one of our 23 bank-style locations. We are Dollar Loan Center. As we get set to begin the third period of play, Steve Kazari having a discussion over at the Anaheim bench with Bruce Boudreau, who clearly is still questioning the 2 minor penalties handed out to Corey Perry late in the second period, of which 2 minutes and 44 seconds still remain, with the Ducks down 3-0.
A little bit of politicking, part of the game. You know, you're looking for that next call. But as mentioned, John, I've been impressed with the Canucks. You know, we showed the example of Alex Edler keeping his arm down when he moved into the corner to make a defensive play. I mean, they are not putting themselves in a position where they're going to get called for a penalty.
Anaheim pressing the issue on the penalty kill, which still has over 2 minutes remaining. 2 of the 3 Vancouver goals have come on the power play. Well, don't sell the Canucks short. It may not have been the greatest start to the season, but this is a 2-time defending President's Cup champion club that last year was 12 games over 500 on the road. So this is not necessarily new to the Canucks' success they have had, as the first penalty to Perry has expired. Daniel Sedin off the left boards. Can afford to be patient. Still a minute 40 remaining with a man advantage for the Canucks. They lead 3-0. Edler angles it off the boards. Henrik Sedin down low. Sealed off. Brother Daniel will return the favor. And right back to Daniel. His pass across. Score! Sharp angle shot, and Zach Kassian has his 3rd in the last 3 games.
And it's again a pass that beats the Anaheim penalty killing unit down low for essentially an empty net goal. So Vancouver in full control. What a story Kassian has been for the Canucks here in the early going. Cross ice pass. You know, it's a tough play for the goaltender Hiller when they set up on the catching glove side. He can't turn the goal stick over to prevent that puck from going through the crease. It's a much easier play for the goalie to use his stick on the blocker side of the net. And that's by design, that the Canucks want to get that puck down on the catching glove side of the Anaheim net.
Brian Allen takes it from Hiller off the end boards. Vancouver 3 of 6 on the power play tonight, and the Ducks are under 500 penalty killing on the season. They've given up 7 power play goals in 13 shorthanded situations.
So there's some work to do. No question about it. You know, and a fair bit of the last 2 days of practice was on the penalty kill.
Great pass by Bonino, and Allen's shot partially blocked, skips wide of the Vancouver goal. Selfless play by Tanev, who came out, and that one took a little bite out of him. All the way back send the Canucks, and as Fowler touches up, icing is the call.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's official attendance.
And Brian, the question now remains, the Ducks are playing the front end of back-to-backs. They're down 4 with under 18 minutes to go. There's Victor Foss, the backup goaltender. Whether or not he's penciled in to play tomorrow in Nashville or not, we do not know. But this could be a golden opportunity as this third period progresses to get a look at the 30-year-old who has never appeared in an NHL game.
Yeah, that's a great point. And Victor Foss is going to play an important role for the Ducks this season. I mean, with a condensed schedule, your starter's not going to be able to play them all. And Foss is an interesting guy in that he's had such great success over in Europe. There's nothing left for him there other than to come to the NHL, and he's not coming here wanting to be a backup, by the way. He's a guy that's coming over with expectations that he can be a starter in this league. Ducks have signed him to a 1-year deal. And I think there's a very good chance we might see Victor Fast in tomorrow's game against the Predators. Smaller goaltender, extremely agile. And he's done everything you can possibly do over in Europe. He's won the best goaltender award the last 2 seasons in the Swedish league. And I've mentioned this before, but the last guy to do that was a guy named Henrik Lundqvist.
Talking with goaltending and coach Pete Peters, he said the fast twitch muscles for Victor Fast are what has impressed him the most of him. Watching him here in this camp, he said he's just like his name. He said he's fast. So it'll be fun to watch him play, whether we see him tonight or maybe tomorrow in Nashville. At 30 years of age, you and I were talking before the game, maybe a difficult situation for a guy who's right now in a backups role with a 1-year contract. The question remains as to just how much NHL action Fast may get this year before it's all said and done, with a chance to prove himself not only to the Ducks but also to the rest of the league. And things are getting spicy. And Bolesky,
Matt Bolesky,
he has picked Kevin Bieksa, one of the toughest guys in the league, and he pops him, puts him down on his knees. Bieksa gets back up. And again, Bolesky with a short right, able to bring him to the ice.
Well, that's a gutsy move by Matt Bolesky. A lot of players will tell you that pound for pound, Bieksa might be the toughest in the game today. Looks like he may have caught Matt.
A couple of years ago, I asked George Peros, who is the surprisingly toughest guy in the league that you wouldn't think of? And the first name that came across his lips, Kevin Bieksa.
Yeah, you could see Bieksa after Bolesky put the hit on Hamhuis that Bieksa challenged him. He challenges him again. And Matt says, okay, I'm willing.
Good recovery by Bolesky. As it appeared, Bieksa got him early in that tilt.
Bolesky gets the extra minor, however. And the Canucks, again, are awarded a power play. And
so much for that lobbying Bruce Boudreau was doing at the outset of the period.
I think the expression on the coach's face pretty much says it all. You know what, John, game number 3 of the regular season, sometimes hard lessons can end up being the most valuable of lessons. And I think here in game number 3, there's a lesson to be learned about composure for the Ducks and what you can and cannot say to the officials in this league. And that's part of the Ducks' reputation that they really need to change, because they have been known as a team that complains. They doth protest too much to the officials.
Offside the call as the Canucks begin their 7th power play of the night. And it bears repeating, Anaheim has had 1. 4-0, the Canucks have made the most of their opportunities. 3 of their 4 goals have come with the man advantage. And Fowler with a nice play to find Winnick. Tried to lay it off for Getzlaf, but forced to drop it back instead. And now Getzlaf takes the opportunity to ice the puck.
The other thing that enters into this is that, there's still lots of time in this game, but if Anaheim can't kill this penalty off and can't get on the board here relatively quickly, they do play tomorrow night against the Nashville team that is not playing this evening. And so at what point does Bruce Boudreau start to manage his bench a little bit and look towards tomorrow night's game?
15:25 to go, 3rd period. Mason Raymond up the left side. Stood up by Spiza. Puck hard around, and Bonino battles it ahead for Corey Perry. Perry 1-on-3 as he goes through center, so he'll just roll it wide to Corey Schneider. Schneider has 1 career shutout at the hands of the Anaheim Ducks. And he has made 20 saves to this point, but it was his work early on in this game that stood out the most. Now Getzlaf, as Boschman made a nice play at the line to deny, and a kick save by Schneider. Burrows stood up at the line, and Anaheim once more will clear. 15 seconds left in the additional 2 being served by Bobby Ryan, given to Matt Bolesky. Boschman just filters it towards the net, and the penalty will expire. Ryan steps out of the box. The Ducks full strength. Long shot off the wing, handled by Jonas Hiller. And now 3 of 7 on the night with the extra man are the Canucks. Mini plans are available right now. They start as low as just $16 a game. Order now and receive a free player autograph puck. Call 877-WILD-WING or go to the interweb, AnaheimDucks.com/mini-plan. Ducks break out off the face-off in their own zone. Solani working on Garrison as it goes in behind the Vancouver goal. Bonino forces LaPierre wide, and then he gets some rough treatment at the blue line from Bobby Ryan. Ryan credited with 4 hits through the first 2 periods, leading the Ducks. We were talking about that earlier, Brian. When you can't participate or contribute, if you will, offensively, there's other ways to contribute. Bobby Ryan doing it in a physical presence tonight.
Yeah, you know, and I would expect that Bruce Boudreau was going to play this line a lot here in the 3rd period, John. They're still looking to develop that chemistry that is so important. I mean, Solani had the 4-point game in game number 1, but most of that happened on the power play. At even strength, I think they are still trying to find themselves.
Ryan weaves his way to the left boards, gets the puck just inside the Vancouver line. Mohadi, who has one of the 4 goals tonight for the Canucks, feeds it the other way. Long shot from Dale Weiss. And everybody meets in the corner. Spiza forced behind the goal. Mohadi just missed him. Boy, he had him lined up.
Yeah, he did. And that was no excuse me hit by Aaron Volpatti. He's a big boy. And that's his job. I mean, he's one of the players that's been asked to add a little bit of beef to the Vancouver lineup, add a little bit of bite and some grit. And boy, by chipping in a goal tonight, he's had himself a real nice game.
Christopher Tanev on the touch-up. Canucks will go from here to San Jose. This is their first road foray of the year. They won 24 times away from Rogers Arena a season ago. They will wind up their trip against the Los Angeles Kings at Staples Center. Of course, it was the Kings who eliminated the then President's Trophy winners in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs last spring. It'll be the first time those 2 teams have gotten together since then. Ducks have the quick 2-game homestand here that we mentioned concludes tomorrow against Nashville. And then they'll go play the San Jose Sharks, a game that will be played at HP Pavilion on Tuesday. These home games important to Anaheim. They don't have many of them. Only 5 in their first 14 games. Puck squirts to Corey Perry, and he will send Getzlaf the other way. Quick pass off the stick of Kyle Palmieri, and that is a souvenir. Just over 12 to go in the 3rd period at Honda Center. The Ducks need some instant offense or they're going to continue this trend. But Hazy, I'll go back a little further. Last season in the Stanley Cup playoffs, the road teams were 10 games over 500, 47 and 37, a new record. Is this a trend? Is it easier to play on the road in the National Hockey League?
I think it's been somewhat easier to play on the road in the NHL for, you know, ever since the rinks were standardized. I mean, way back in the day when, you know, the old Chicago Stadium and the odd in Buffalo, the ice surface was different dimensions. I think it was much more of a home ice advantage, and teams would actually build their team around the dimensions of it in some cases. But, you know, I still like, I would still prefer to play any game at home where I get the matchup advantage.
Well, there's a high stick on Fowler as he cuts to the middle. No call. Palmieri comes up with it, and from a bad angle, Schneider able to hold that one off. When Fowler tried to cut to the middle, looked like he got clipped by a high stick, and no call, and that's kind of been the story tonight where Anaheim is concerned.
Great skater. Watch Cam Fowler cut back into the middle of the ice.
Right there.
Takes a little bit of a shot to the visor.
Yannick Hansen that got him.
Still gets his shot away. Good stop again by Schneider. Boy, you got to be impressed with the game of Corey Schneider in this one, John. I mean, hasn't been severely tested since the first 10 minutes of the opening period, but he withstood the early barrage.
And he hugs that far post there, denying Bobby Ryan, and then Nick Bonino Bonino takes a pretty good shot behind the net. And again, play goes on. And it's Alexander Edler. Edler has gotten away with 3 pretty serious looking hits in this game. It's almost like Edler's the guy who keeps getting the benefit of the doubt, not just the Canucks. He has been physical in this game, and he hasn't had to pay a price. Schrader drops it back in his own zone. And he lets the return pass go by. This will be an icing call against the Canucks as we go under 11 minutes to go in the game. Fox UFC Saturday returns tomorrow. It's a championship fight as Demetrius Johnson puts his title on the line against John Dodson, and Rampage Jackson returns to take on Glover Teixeira. It's not on pay-per-view. It's live, it's free, and it's only on Fox. This week at 8 Eastern, Fox UFC Saturday is back.
Alexander Edler, signed that 6-year, $30 million contract extension. One of the first players to sign after the lockout. And he is a big, strong, physical guy.
Looks like it had the little-known no penalty clause in the contract.
Yeah, that's a tough play for a defenseman. Bonino did turn at the last second and square up his shoulders to the boards. And, the referees have said that they are going to consider that more often as to whether or not they're going to make the boarding call. In other words, they're putting more of an onus on the player that gets hit than maybe has been put on them in the past.
Now it's a frustrated sellout crowd here at Honda Center. Anything that has been even borderline that looked like it could have resulted in an Anaheim power play has drawn the ire of 17,000 plus.
Well, I think the other side of that too is that there have been a couple of calls that have been marginal that have gone against the Ducks. So it's been a tough night all around for Anaheim.
Clock winds to under 10. Maybe we'll see a little more of this line down the stretch as well, as from Peter Holland was out there moments ago. That's the line of which I started to speak. We haven't seen a whole lot of Holland tonight, and this is his season debut. Koivu puts it in front, and Fowler denied by Schneider. That's the second time tonight Cam Fowler's gotten right to the top of the goal crease. Now it's Allen. Measures it, can't get a redirect on the short side, and it's 2-on-1 at center for Vancouver. Across the line. Blocker saved by Hiller as he denies Cassian. Zach Cassian gets it back behind the net. Now brings it out on his backhand and shovels it to the corner for Henrik Sedin. Sedin slides off and brings it right into the goal crease. Down goes Hiller, no call. And I think the Ducks thought there was going to be a call there because Allen just threw the puck to the end boards. It's driven right back in from out center ice by Edler. Hiller will hold on. Well, the discussions will continue while we step away. The Ducks can't get a call tonight, and they trail in the third.
Busy night here at Honda Center, and the Ducks home opener 4-0 as Vancouver leads about halfway through the third period. Mark Organino back here with you, reminding you stick with us after the game as we'll bring you Ducks Live post-game edition right here on Prime Ticket. We'll put Kent French to work down at the locker room with getting some interviews from the Ducks players. We'll also take a look at highlights and analysis of the entire game here tonight at Honda Center, and we'll look ahead to tomorrow when Nashville comes to Honda Center. Johnny?
You know, that's the beauty of back-to-backs too, Hazy. I mean, you can't dwell. Obviously, this has not gone the way the Ducks would have hoped to this point, but if they don't stage a comeback here, you got to get ready for tomorrow night.
And that's really the story of the season. I mean, how quickly you can regain focus. Because as Bruce Bluto has been telling us every single day, every point is going to be so valuable this year.
Getzlaf with a big hit. Perry steps in front. Schneider can't find it. It's dug out of the fray by Burrows, who just hoists it out of harm's way. Surrey gloves it down and then has it taken away by Hansen. Jannik Hansen kicks it free. Burrows trailing the play. Couldn't find the handle and then throws his head back after a little bump from Palmieri. Yeah, that's a bigger bump at the blue line as Hansen steps into Palmieri. Perry comes over, talks with Hansen. And cooler heads prevail. Then Palmieri has a couple of things to say to Hansen. I don't think too many fans in the building are watching the puck right now as Perry begins to mix it up with Ballard, and there go the gloves. And right hands to from Corey Perry as he gets the sweater over the head of Keith Ballard.
Well, Corey Perry is just getting rid of a little frustration here. But every time I see Corey Perry drop the gloves, John, I cringe a little bit. I don't want a broken finger. He's so valuable to this team, but you can see he's frustrated. I mean, things haven't been going the way of the Ducks. That's a good open ice hit by Hansen. He drops the shoulder into Palmieri. Corey Perry comes over, gives him a little shot. And at the end of this, he grabs Keith Ballard. He could have been given a holding penalty for that easily. And off comes the gloves. And
not every day you see the former Hart Trophy winner drop the mitts, but Corey Perry's one guy who does do a great deal of that. The discussion continues. I think you hit it on the head, Hazy. He was more or less just exfoliating some anger there. And Getzlaf doing the same, as now this is what you get when you play twice in a week. And of course, this season, Brian, we're going to see some back-to-backs in the same city. We're going to see home and homes. We're going to see the Ducks play at one point in time, or a couple of points, they're going to play the same team 3 times in a row. And I would expect that we'll get more of this in those little forays as well.
A little mini series. It is like a playoff series in that the animosity builds up game after game after game. But I really think this has a lot more to do with the score than anything else. And the fact that I think that Corey Perry is wishing that he had a few more scoring chances in this game. He hasn't had a lot, quite honestly. Corey Perry is going to be given a 5-minute penalty here, and Ballard will get just 2 minutes for roughing. So
I believe it's just the fight major on Perry.
Here's the official call.
Well, now they've taken down Perry's time, so it's Ballard gets 2 for roughing and 5 for fighting, so it's actually going to result in an Anaheim power play.
Well, that would be the old even up call on the part of the referees, John, because
that's a curious call.
Yeah.
To coin a phrase.
Yeah.
Keith Ballard, 2 minutes roughing. For the Ducks, number 10, Corey Perry, 5 minutes fighting. Time of the penalty is 12:22.
Well, I think they're having some problems between the scoreboard and the officials, the communication. The look on Ryan Getzlaf's face is not one of a player whose team is about to go on a power play. They put 5 minutes up for Perry, then took it down off the scoreboard. There's been 2 minutes up for Ballard the whole time. And now the Ducks captain is going to return to the bench. I think what's going to happen here is 4-on-4. Now they put 2 minutes up for Perry. They just took it back down again. If nothing else, I was right about one thing. They're confused down there. I think the initial penalty times were going to be correct based on the look on Getzlaf's face.
You're right, John, and Ryan Getzlaf didn't appear to be happy. Corey Perry just appears to be frustrated.
Now the 5 minutes back up. So it looks like Perry gets 5 for fighting. Ballard just gets 2 for roughing. So it'll be 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, then a 3-minute Vancouver power play. That, of course, is barring any other calls in the interim of the 2 minutes. Henrik Sedin with a lot of space, trying to sneak it down low for BX that went off a skate. Vancouver has lived on the power play tonight. 3 of their 4 goals have come with the extra man, but right now it's 4-on-4. Open in the middle of the ice, Bobby Ryan, and it's off of Schneider and out of play.
Well, stop by Schneider. I'll call this just a great positional save because, again, look where Schneider is standing when Bobby Ryan releases this puck. And Ryan is moving laterally, and that's not easy for a goaltender. That may have gone off the shaft of the goaltender's stick, however. It does. That's a break. When things are going right, they're going right, and they're certainly going right for Schneider.
Surrey knocks down the puck at the blue line, and Hansen is crunched on the play by Bolesky. Under 7 to play, third period. 4-0 Vancouver. The Canucks came in -2 on the season in even strength hockey. They have done very little to change that. 3 of their 4 goals have come on the power play. but they'll take it up 4-0 on the road. Evan hit behind the net. He'll head to the bench for a change as Surrey looking for a passing lane through the middle, and he finds Bobby Ryan. Solani nearly recovers. Ryan gets it back to the net. Solani poking at the rebound, but Schneider freezes it.
And Kevin Bieksa does a nice job in front of Corey Schneider, making sure that Teemu Solani's stick does not come free. Watch what Bieksa does. See him go for the stick of Solani right there, and a short little cross check to shove him out of harm's way. No difficulty whatsoever for Corey Schneider.
.6:24 to play. Bonino, Ryan, Fowler, and Beauchemin up for the Ducks. As it remains 4-on-4 for another 45 seconds. Excuse me, it's Brian Allen who pokes it at the blue line, but has to retreat defensively as back come the Canucks. Jordan Schrader crossed the slot, and he hit his teammate Chris Higgins in front. Ryan has it and hinges it back. Brian Allen from behind the Anaheim goal. Now for Bonino on right wing. Poked off his stick as he got to the blue line, but he soldiers on in behind the goal. Kicks it to the corner. Canucks go on the power play in 10 seconds, but Bonino will draw a penalty in the meantime as Hamhuis trips him up. Higgins will touch up, and the 3-minute power play for the Canucks will be delayed by a couple of minutes. Under 6 to play in the third period. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite as we look back at how this one began to unravel for the Ducks.
Yeah, a 5-on-3 power play goal, and two of the best in the business in terms of finding one another. The Sedin twins team up. Henrik to Daniel, boy, how often have you heard that combination before?
Once or twice.
Yeah, two great players, and they sure showed their skills in the man advantage situations tonight.
Hamhuis goes off for tripping, so it remains 4-on-4. Anaheim actually just enjoyed a 5-second power play, which will only serve to mess up the stats. Tony Ludman has his shot blocked and gets a backhand rebound back to Schneider, who holds on.
It all started with a good rush up ice by Daniel Winnick, and you know, I've said this a number of times, John. I just didn't realize what a good skater Daniel Winnick is. He's straight ahead. Nothing fancy from him. He gets the head down, and he just turns on the jets, but he covers an awful lot of ice in a very short period of time.
Yeah, Saku Koivu was talking to me earlier this week about Winnick, and he says the things that he loves about him is he says he skates so well and holds on to the puck when he has it. It's not type of player who just dumps it in and then chases it.
Yeah, you're right. He does a good job of protecting it down low.
Cogliano has it for the Ducks, gives it to Solani, and that hit the post. He beat Schneider's short side, but the goaltender's best friend came through off the plumbing, and it's Raymond the other way with his second of the night. And there it is, in a nutshell, the Ducks' evening.
Yeah, I would say that just about sums it up. Mason Raymond with his second of the evening. Teemu Solani has Schneider beaten cleanly high short side, but it's off the inside of the crossbar. The Canucks turn the puck the opposite way, and Raymond with a seeing eye shot between the arm and the body of Jonas Hiller. You could see Hiller try to squeeze that elbow up against the side of his body. Couldn't get it done. And it is now 5-0 Vancouver.
Raymond's third in the last 2 games, and he's an interesting situation, Hazy. Vancouver filed for the rare cut-down arbitration on Raymond in the offseason and cut his salary 15%. He accepted it. Of course, he's had the serious neck injury in the Stanley Cup Finals. He's dealt with a lot the last couple of years. It's not every day you hear of a player losing money in arbitration. That's what happened to Mason Raymond, who's got 2 goals tonight.
3 on the season. Now, does he have the right to go back and ask for an increase in pay at the end of the year? Seems fair to me.
I think you can always ask, can't you? Schrader drawing the lone assist on the goal. The young recent call-up getting his first NHL point on the assist. Now 5-0 Vancouver as Getzlaf just comes in and touches the puck with his skate. making Palmieri offside. Still 4-on-4 for another 32 seconds. And then as if they need it, the Canucks will have over a minute of power play time once again. So for the first time this season, it would appear Anaheim is going to have to rebound. The 2-0 start will give way to this result. Ballard dumps it in wide of the Anaheim net. Shots on goal 29-28 in favor of Anaheim. And trouble staying on his feet, Bobby Ryan, after that puck was chopped off his stick. And now Hamhuis about to come out of the box. So Vancouver goes on the power play for just over a minute. Bobby Ryan stick handles through 3 defenders and gets a shot away off of Ballard. And it didn't have much left when it got to Schneider.
Vancouver just moving that puck quick.
Evatt headmans to Raymond. Mason Raymond, former University of Minnesota Duluth star, is going to draw a slashing call on Francois Beauchemin. And the fans continue to rain boos down as now it's touched up. And it'll be a 2-man advantage for the Canucks for a half a minute.
And Beauchemin, I think he knows that the call was valid. It's a slashing call against him. Knocks the glove off of the hand of the Vancouver forward Evatt, and that's what the call was. A little chop on the fingers, and the reaction by Evatt sells the call, but it is a slash. And so there's a lot of these little things that are going to be a topic of discussion inside the Anaheim locker room after this game.
Is this the second or third 2-man advantage of the night for the Canucks? I know it's at least the second, as Ballard's one-timer is held by Hiller. 20 seconds left in the penalty to Corey Perry, and then it'll be a 5-on-4 for the remaining minute and a half.
You know, and a lot of people would wonder why Bruce Boudreau might not have made the goaltending change. This is why, John, because, I mean, it's a lot to ask of Victor Foss to go in there into a game in relief, first ever NHL appearance, but a lot tougher if you have to face 5-on-3s, and I think Boudreau recognizes his team's lack of discipline in this game. And
Tanev with a shot and a great glove save by Hiller.
Well, stop with the right hand by Jonas Hiller.
I would think, Brian, looking ahead at this point, I'll speculate, but I would say, does this add to the speculation that we may see Victor Foss tomorrow against Nashville?
Well, you said you were going to speculate, and then you asked a question.
I'll speculate.
I think we'll
see him.
Yeah,
I'm speculating we'll see him. I'm sorry.
I think you're right. I think we're going to see him too. And you know, Jonas Hiller has been okay, but still not at his highest level either this regular season, John. There's room to grow, as they say.
Perry's penalty is over, and as this puck deflected out of play, it is now a 1-man advantage for the Canucks for another minute 17. There's only 2:25 to go in the game. Canucks in the midst of their 9th power play of the evening. This is an Anaheim team that took only 7 minor penalties in their first 2 games. But Alain Vigneault's team has basically had power play practice here tonight.
And you know that Bruce Boudreau's behind the bench, and he's thinking, well, hopefully we've got this out of our system now. I mean, as they say, plenty of teachable moments in this one tonight.
Perry upended as he and LaPierre got tangled. Under a minute to go in the penalty to Beauchemin. And Spiza redirects a pass in the slot behind the goal. He and Volpatti battle for it there. Ballard holds it in. Max LaPierre as Alain Vigneault looks at some different personnel on the power play. Ballard holds it in again. Down to 20 seconds in the power play. Raymond to the front of the net, and LaPierre sniffing around, bats that rebound right back on goal, and Hiller holds on.
You know, this last play is a play that has bothered me with the Ducks. The rebound is there, and it seems like the opponent is getting to too many of these short rebounds in their power play situations. Anaheim defenders have got to do a better job. Tony Lubin went out to challenge the shot, as he's supposed to, but that area in front of the goal crease then belongs to his defensive partner. And they got to get back and clear some of those rebounds.
Penalty is over to Beauchemin, steps out of the box, and now just a minute remaining in the game. And Vancouver 3 of 10 on the power play as the Ducks turn it over. And Schrader with a golden opportunity. Ducks get right back at it tomorrow. It'll be the back end of back-to-back games in what is Hockey Night on Fox Sports West. It all begins at 4:30 with the pregame for the Kings at Phoenix, followed by Anaheim hosting Nashville. That's tomorrow night. So Anaheim can cleanse themselves of this one in another 36.3 seconds and get ready for the Predators.
And Johnny, I don't think this is the kind of game. I would imagine Bruce Boudreau is going to make it an optional skate in the morning for his team. This isn't the kind of game where this was lost on X's and O's and positioning. It really was more mental breakdowns that cost Anaheim tonight.
Burrows will clear it for Ebbett through the middle of the ice. He's content to get to the blue line and chip it in. And now it's just a matter of seconds as Corey Schneider is on the precipice of his first shutout of the season and his second of his career against Anaheim. Spiza forced back through neutral ice. And he stretches it for Bobby Ryan. Well, redemption for the Canucks and Corey Schneider as they return the favor, ruining the Ducks home opener less than a week after Anaheim did the same to them up in Vancouver.
Yeah, completely 180-degree turnaround here as the Canucks and their devastating power play win this one for them tonight. The Ducks had a good start to this game. Corey Schneider, to me, should be the #1 star. He was the guy that was the difference early on, and from that point on, a little bit of self-destruction on the part of the Ducks.
Schneider's performance may get overlooked a bit, but he held the fort early, and the Canucks win the game 5-0. Ducks Live is coming up right after the